Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome to Civilization 6, where I have what may actually be the cheekiest little exploit that has ever been found. Huge shout out to Wands, by the way, for sharing the exploit with me. But before we get to the exploit, let's just play a little old regular game of Civ for a little while, because until we get to the moment where that thumbnail-worthy exploit comes to fruition, we gotta just play a standard game of Civ. Now, we got ourselves a few good choices for where we want to settle our capital. I could move on to the stone to get 2 production, then I'd be working 3 food, 1 production tile. I could settle on the furs. I don't like the idea of settling on the furs. I would prefer the stone here, because I would have a better tier 2 tile, because I don't know what's on this tile, and then I would also have a better I would have a better tier 1 tile and a better tier 2 tile. But yeah, let's pop on over here and we get our capital settled. I think the stone is a reasonable choice here. I think there are... See, this is what I was worried about. I didn't know what this tile was. If I could see that it was a 2-2 tile, I would have settled there. But the fact that it wasn't a 2-2 tile, and I couldn't see it, you know, I managed to roll the dice and get lucky on that decision. Standard opener, 2 scouts into potentially a builder. We have a lot of plantation luxuries. I don't know if we want to rush a plantation. I don't even know if we want to go for a holy site this game. That is something we could potentially decide to go for. Our big problem is we don't have a location for a holy site without getting tech to clear tiles. So we would be very unlikely to get a religion. So I think I'm going to go for the theater square build instead of going for the choral music build, because our entire build revolves around getting to this very important improvement. Oh, Cinquetti, look at that. I was the first to meet them. I'm going to get +1 faith. So I will get a very fast pantheon here, and my trade routes will get a huge, and I mean huge, amount of faith once I actually get them up and running. It's rare that I go for a triple scout opener, but I think on a map like Lakes, it's totally worth it just because there's so much land to explore and so much potential era score to grab. Now, if it doesn't pay off in me getting a golden age, that'll be a bit of a waste. Oh God, this is exactly the last civ I wanted to see in this game, is a culture civ. Not only a culture civ, but it's Greece. Of all the worst civs in the game for me to encounter. I mean, maybe Pericles was worse, but Gorgo's pretty up there on the list of civs I absolutely want. Oh, she already is super mad at me. Great, nice, awesome, cool. I love this game. This is my favorite game, by the way. I love it. I love this game. It's so fair and reasonable and doesn't screw me ever. Oh my God, I actually found 3 city-states first. This is an insane amount of culture. I'm getting 2 culture per turn from Caguana and Rapa Nui. Okay, I take it back. We're doing okay. I'm allowed to have a little bit of a whinge when things don't go perfectly in my favor. Now, you might be asking yourself, Potato, why are you settling in this really weird formation? And that's a good question. One that I'm going to decline to answer right now. But for those of you who maybe have an inkling of what this exploit is about, I'll leave this little group of pins right here of open air museums so that you can maybe have a little think about what might be coming. Let's hire a little barbarian horseman here and bring him over into the fight. We're going to try to farm this barb camp for a little bit of gold income. It's the most efficient thing that we can do with it rather than clear it. I mean, clearing it for era score will be on the cards, but we may as well farm it for money first. Oh, a free builder from a tribal village. That's so amazing. Truly the Civ gods are smiling down upon me. Poland. Poland isn't so bad of a civ to find, although they're colored weirdly like America. Poland can into America, apparently. This is very much so a culture-heavy game, and I have a ton of plantations in my empire, so I'm going to go ahead and choose to take Goddess of Festivals. Even though I normally wouldn't take this pantheon, I just need as much culture as humanly possible. Byzantium is in the game as well. These are like 3 absolutely S-tier terrifying AI civs. Like, Jesus. Ooh, I found a city-state where I can buy a war cart? Amazing. This is just like a souped up chariot. Yeah, a normal chariot is 28 melee strength, whereas this is 30. So I can go ahead and send this straight down to go fight this barb camp and keep generating more gold. I'm going to give Stonehenge my best attempt. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it, but if I could get a religion, it would feel amazing. Let's go ahead and appoint Pingala as per usual, because he is the best governor in the entire game, thanks to the Connoisseur promotion, getting you that insane early game culture. Oh, free chariot. Do I want to pick it up this turn? I think I'll wait a turn and then we'll pick it up. Because I don't know if you get experience from picking those up with scouts, actually. That's kind of an open question for me. I guess we'll find out. Boom, free military unit and 5 XP. All right, worth it. Worth it to wait a turn. So it looks like someone did claim Stonehenge, which isn't the end of the world, because I would like to build the Hanging Gardens. Oh, very nice. I managed to find a builder in a tribal village, so I'll be able to chop out potentially the Hanging Gardens here. I'm hoping that it'll work. And I think with 4 points from the Hanging Gardens and just 1 more point from any of these scouts, I will be able to secure myself a golden age. Right, this is the moment of truth. I chop and boom, there's the Hanging Gardens giving us a healthy +4 era score. It's the final turn. So then I can go ahead and disperse this clan, get another 3 era score. Boom, golden age secured. Welcome to the golden era of the classical age. Cleopatra wants to be my friend as well. Oh, it's all getting started so well for me. Now we're going to take a monumentality golden age, even though we don't have amazing faith generation. Ooh, actually securing our religion could be really handy. I'm actually getting pretty lucky and very few people are going for our religion this game. Although choral music and feed the world has already been taken. So yeah, I don't need to found a religion, I just need to get faith generation. The 2 best beliefs have already been taken, so I don't need to do anything else. It's also extremely rare that I do this exploit, but I'm gonna do the diplomatic favor exploit because the AI actually values diplomatic favor at 0 until there's an actual use for it. So you can stock up a ton of diplomatic favor and then sell it back to the AI for a huge boost of gold. Oh my god, I crossed the river into the barb zone. Oh my god. That horseman is omega dead. At the very least, we do get to pick an interesting government here. We're going to be switching to autocracy in the early game, mostly for that extra yield in our capital. Ooh, there's the circumnavigation of the world for a healthy +5 era score and a healthy +3 era score from building a very nice holy site. Oh, panting out, man. We are just drowning in era score. It's so good right now. I really do think that on a land map like this, triple scout opener is actually super valid. Oh dear. This scout is dead. Rest in peace. You did a good job. I appreciate you for all the hard work you put in, but I don't think I can save you from Barb Horseman. Oh, well, the second scout is dead, so the flow of era score is going to slow to a crawl now. I still do have one little dude running around, still finding tribal village. I swear to God, it was like I planned that. It was like I planned this. I don't know how to tell. How am I this lucky, dude? Now, granted, it's pretty late into the game, but I mean, still, a free relic is a free relic, especially when we're doing a tourism victory, which might give you a little hint as to what this is for. Oh, I should have cleared this when I had the chance. That's a lot of doom right there. Much regret. Wow. Such mistakes. Goodbye, Barbarian Outpost. Thank you for your era score. Right before we finish our government building, we're going to go ahead and switch over to Classical Republic so we can secure a Classical Republic legacy card because that extra amenity is really nice. We just barely, and I mean barely, managed to get a golden age here. I do have a bit of a question though, like if I hire a galley from a Barb clan, it actually counts. Oh my god, so I didn't have to rush for sailing tech. Alrighty then. That is useful technology that I wasn't sure actually would work. But we have managed to secure a golden age with 1 turn left, and then after this we're probably not going to get any more golden ages because the first 2 are the most important. Now our main goal is to get feudalism so we can get an extra 2 builder charge slots and work our way towards nationalism so that we can activate sicko mode. But I went pretty hard to get that golden age, even like levying and taking suzerainty of certain city-states in order to try and trigger it. And we just barely squeaked over the line. And I cannot explain to you how important it is to get those first 2 golden ages. Especially when you're going for a faith build, being able to crack out settlers using faith is just such a massive advantage. Right, this is a huge step forward for us. The advance of feudalism, boom, we can plug that in. We get +2 builder charges, which means we can now start settling all these cities that we saved up that will get free builders that we can then send around to go improve our empire. Right, so the medieval era is coming to a delightful end, and unfortunately it's unlikely over the next 10 turns that we're going to save up enough to get settlers out, but I will be able to get a good few builders out as a final prize from getting monumentality, which is quite nice because that'll mean I'll be able to direct actual production towards settlers. I am starting my production wheel over here. I just need to unlock dams and aqueducts. We're sort of starting to put everything together, and we have a nice little bit of faith so we can get some extra delicious, delightfully overpowered national parks when the time comes, but that won't be for a little while. It would make me really happy if theatre squares got boosted right now. Oh, Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm starting to build on my theatre squares. So now they're going to get boosted, which I'm quite happy about. This is why I love having a ton of Diplo favor banked, because when a barbarian outpost spawns a goddamn musketman on your border, you can very rapidly get yourself just enough cash to defend against it. Unfortunately, someone has already built the Colosseum, so I don't see much point in going for it myself, but I can scooch in a happy and healthy little theatre square here. So finally we enter into our little dark age, but that's fine. This was all part of the plan. This was all accounted for. We knew this was what was going to happen. Although I will admit, I actually totally forgot to buy builders with faith. So yeah, just big old chunk of faith sitting there doing nothing. Whoops. Oh dear, barbarian hordes have arrived. So I'm going to have to do some upgrading and some fighting. One big problem I have is that I don't have any niter, so I can't upgrade my musketmen. Cleopatra has a little bit of niter. I'm going to just go grab 22 off her if I can. That'll, at the very least, I'll be able to actually heal my units. Look at this skirmisher taunting me with my barbuilder in tow. Incredibly annoying. I've been dealing with an awful lot of barbarians. It's been incredibly difficult to get rid of them all. Oh god, you know what? Retreat. But I shall persevere. I will not surrender to these barbarians. I shall see things through to the end. We're very, very close to the open air museum, and that's when the real fun begins. I've also basically got my Giga production zone fully online. It's been a long time since I built one of these, where you put the dam in the middle and then a fidget spinner of industrial zones around it. But my goodness, is it fun to do. Oh, of course. Of course, the flood happened. Wait, I finished the dam. Is there another? Is this a second floodplain? Oh, for the love of God. Jesus Christ. There's a second floodplain. Very nice. There's the Petra completed in Young Shopping. And man, oh man, is that a nice Petra. Just check it out. Here's why I love the Global Relations tab, is because it makes me be able to tell who I have open borders with so easily. It's one of my favorite visual mods, and I have open borders with every single player in the game. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth has come. We have researched nationalism, and we can now build the Open Air Museum. Now, the Open Air Museum is a very nice, unique tile improvement, right? It gives you up to 10 culture and tourism, because you get +2 culture and +2 tourism for each type of terrain that at least one Swedish city is founded. And you can build it once per city. That is the biggest downside of the Open Air Museum, is the fact that you can only build it once per city. But here's the thing. There is a little known game mechanic to do with the Open Air Museum, and you can see these Open Air Museums are instantaneously generating me 6 tourism per turn. But if you settle a city, and there are tiles within the first ring of that city's claimable tiles that are owned by another city, that city will claim those tiles. So by settling a city here and surrounding it in open air museums, we can actually duplicate the amount of open air museums we're allowed to have in our empire. So rather than having 1 per city, this one city will have 6, and then all the 6 cities around it will be able to place another open air museum. I just need a couple more builders and a little bit more time to get all the open air museums built. So when we settle a new city in the snow, all of my open air museums go up to 8 culture per turn and additionally 8 tourism per turn, which is pretty damn nice for a single tile improvement. You consider things like seaside resorts only get you a baseline of 4 tourism per turn without any extra culture. Now we've got all of our open air museums in position and we're ready to start duplicating them. And I've got a settler on the way to settle a chunk of tundra as well. We're on the verge of duplicating open air museums in our empire perfectly legitimately in a perfectly balanced way. Now I have slightly misled you as I settle this final tundra city to activate the full 10 culture and tourism on these open air museums. It doesn't just allow me to build extra open air museums. In fact, something very strange happens when I settle this city. You see, for some reason, the game, as it claims these tiles, thinks that it needs to reapply the culture and tourism bonuses to the tile. So in fact, I don't end up with 60 tourism per turn from settling this city. I end up with 360. That's right. Every single one of these open air museums is cranking out 60 culture and 60 tourism per turn. We have instantaneously gone from being a mediocre culture civ to the most powerful culture civ in the entire game. And the most amazing thing is I can keep doing this. I have multiple cities set up. Well, I can't do this one as well. I have multiple cities set up to activate this, and there's still tons of land for me to continue doing this exploit. It's going to be so amazing, so beautiful, so broken. I love it. It's one of my favorite new exploits. In fact, it may actually be my favorite exploit to ever come to Civ, because I don't need to make great works. I don't need to make great people. All I have to do is spam settlers and builders, and I can have the most powerful tourism empire in the entire game. Instantaneously, I go from being a middle-of-the-pack tourism civ to not only making double the culture of Basel, I'm making 4 times as much tourism per turn. And I don't even have the techs that multiply your tourism, like environmentalism, like online communities, or computers. This is quite simply an absurd amount of tourism to be making every single turn at this stage of the game. I don't think another civ could achieve this level of tourism per turn. Maybe there's a couple of civs that could come close, but it seems really difficult to me. So who is the most hated civ in the game? It looks like it might be Gorgo or Poland. I think it's Poland. So whatever resource Poland has an abundance of, I'm going to vote down. Okay, Poland has an abundance of cotton, which is unfortunate for me because I also have an abundance of cotton, but that does make cotton the target. Truffles? Who voted for truffles? I guess Gorgo and Poland forced through the issue of truffles, which is pretty damn nice. Now, the important thing to note about this exploit is how it actually works. So in order to get the full 360 tourism, you have to surround the city with 6 open air museums. Otherwise, it only multiplies it by the number of open air museums in the ring. So for example, these 4 open air museums are going to become 40 culture each. So 4 times 40 is about 160 tourism, which isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. Like, it pales in comparison to the insane 360 tourism per turn of this Giga Ring. But this is still like on par with instantaneously creating like 5 national parks, and all it cost me was a few builder charges, settling in a weird way, and a settler. Like, this was like incredibly cheap value. Too cheap. Dare I say, dangerously balanced. I would like to just point out that a few turns ago I had no tourists, and now I have like 19. That just goes to show you, I'm already up to 600 tourism per turn. It's like just so absurd. It's so beautiful and wonderful. It's my favorite new exploit. I love it so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open air museums. Boom. Instantly settled. Now they're inside this city, netting me an extra 50 culture and tourism from each and every single one of these. The game thinks I'm going to win in 73 turns, but I think we can get that down a lot lower. Bro, are you kidding me? I'm literally building the dam. I swear to God, there is code in the game that says when your dam is nearing completion, flood this river. It has to be. There's no other explanation for it. I swear to God, this game was designed to troll people. It has to have been. 28 turns now, that's a little bit more like it. We've almost broken the 1,000 tourism mark, and it's not even turn 200. I'm also up to 500 culture per turn, which is just completely absurd. I'm making twice as much culture as Gorgo. Like, Karlstad alone is making 120 culture per turn, and the city hasn't even started to fully work all of these open air museums yet. It's just so unbelievably beautifully broken, and I love every moment of it. And the best part is, like, on top of that, I'm doing all the sort of traditional tourism-y stuff. I don't have to, but I may as well squeak out an extra few points of tourism by building archaeologists and doing stuff like that. I do find having to go through the list of civs in the game and getting open borders with them all to be arguably the most tedious and boring part of the game. I wish, you know what, I really hope someone comes out with a mod that just, like, makes that decision for you. We're also getting all our great works going in the Queen's Bibliothèque. I do need a little bit of music and a little bit of art, but we're on the way. And I automatically themed my very first archaeological museum, which was super, super lucky. We're just about to break the 1,000 tourism mark, and we're over halfway to our victory condition, and it's only turn 200. Now, keep in mind, some of the best builds in the game, they tend to win around turn 200. Like, if I had gotten the Giga start and didn't have to settle my city in weird ways and was playing a civ that wasn't Sweden, I probably could have won this a little bit sooner. Oh, I love to see a plus 20 coal power plant. Look at that bad boy. Plus 10 adjacency industrial zone. Someone did actually steal the Ruhr Valley, which is kind of sad, but there's not much I can do about it. All that era score that we saved up brought us back with a heroic age. Look at this, my friends. We're going to be able to plug in every single card that we want to. And more importantly, we're going to be able to start sending rock bands towards Japan thanks to the city of Kalmar. Oh, 91 production in the city of Helsingborg after we built that industrial zone to the maximum capacity. You love to see it. Look at that, 20 production. I'm getting 40 production from the industrial zone and coal power plant combo. God, that's just absolutely disgusting. I love to see it. I love to see it. Lovely. There's environmentalism, which is going to give us a 25% boost to all of our tourism gains. So these are now making 75 tourism each. They already have 12 tourists in them. And we're down to just 20 turns to win. Japan pulled out like an insane amount of culture here. Like I don't know where they're getting 355 culture. The big saving grace that we have though is that our rock bands have finally arrived to start playing their tunes. Where the hell are these submarines coming from? I'm just trying to win a tourism game. We're 13 turns away. We're on the verge, baby, of making full use of this exploit. Now, it is possible to win the game a lot sooner than I did if you have like a super optimal build, especially if you play like the BBG version of Sweden. Like the BBG version of Sweden is insane, dude. They're absolutely cracked out of their mind. Speaking of cracks, Japan is cracked right now. Nearly 400 culture per turn from them. It's very respectable. I don't know if I'm getting worse at the game or the AI is getting better at playing. I did take a little bit of a break from Civ 6, so maybe I am just worse now. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility. Like, I am not inhuman. I do have weaknesses, even if I do protest my weaknesses. Oh man, we're so close to victory. Japan has instituted music censorship, so I can't go into his territory anymore, but that doesn't matter. I think we've secured the W. No, don't go up. Number, no. No, please. Number only go down. Oh, there it is. We won. Massive. Thank you guys very, very much. What a wonderful, wonderful game. What a wonderful, wonderful exploit. What an easy, effortless victory. And I really want to show you something really damn cool. We won so quickly with such a crap empire that we had like no score. But check out this player culture. You can see the second we start using this exploit, we just, woof, we shoot up. I wish there was a way to track tourists and tourism. You know, it's kind of sad, you know. We're getting the leader pass, but we're not getting any updates to the old end screen that I kind of wish we would get. But man, what a satisfying and beautiful game. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to become a member. And don't forget to give me your money. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.